So we're going to start on the second part of our leadership Zoom, which is bifurcating into our two special units. One unit is basically going to be talking for all you coaches just getting started. That's going to be led, and I'm going to introduce just in a moment, by two of our leaders. And then we're going to have the second group go to your senior coach boot camp, which has been in progress now. This is week 3 in that boot camp. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to introduce the starting point, basically, Zoom tonight. It's led by Integrated Presidential Director Terry Miller and Presidential Director Dr. Mark Nelson. Are you guys there?
Dr. A, we are here and ready for the crew.
Ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, and as you can tell, I'm jacked up. I'm fired up. I'm actually so fired up that I feel like a kid just before Christmas. And it's been a long time coming, and I want you guys to know that everyone that's going to be at National Convention, everyone that's here tonight, you put yourself in a special place. Our tribe is pretty powerful, and it's going to grow like crazy now. So again, for all of you that are just getting started, this basically Zoom is designed for you to kind of get an orientation, to kick the tires on now that you've joined us, what we're doing, how we're doing it, and these two incredible leaders are going to help you over the next 45 minutes get a rock solid bedrock start and take shape for life. So see you guys. Have a great one. Thanks, Charlotte.
Thanks, Dr. A.
All right.
Thanks, Dr. A.
Well, hey, everybody. So excited. We'll just kind of pause for a few minutes while we're waiting for everybody to transition over to the separate calls. So for all the new coaches that are hanging on the line, what Dr. A was talking about is, we kind of have an apprentice style learning. And as you're creating, partnering with people and helping them to create health in their life, kind of the learning curve. Mark, wouldn't you say the learning curve is over in those first 5 clients?
Yep, it's and the great thing about it is with the guidance and the mentorship in a simple system, anyone can learn this easily, quickly, and most of all, have fun and help people get healthy.
Oh my gosh, and beyond fulfilling. And what Dr. Anderson was talking about is we have another course that people are able to take if they choose, they really want to enhance their skill, and it's called Boot Camp. And it's a 5 to 6 week course that starts often. So you guys will all be invited into that after you start with your first 5 clients. And it just helps you really enhance your skills and become just a much better health coach. Because I don't know about you, Dr. Joe, but I kind of fumbled over those first ones. I actually would like to go back and apologize. So let's go ahead and get started officially. So again, my name is Terry Miller. I'm an integrated presidential, which really doesn't mean anything to all the people on the line because titles don't mean anything. It's, my husband David and I, gosh, it's been just actually almost 14 years. I was introduced to this amazing program by a person that was in another business that I was in. She had lost 100 pounds. I hadn't seen her for a while. And I actually had been trying so many things that actually David it was every time I tried something, I gained weight. He's like, stop trying, And I asked her 2 questions. How do you feel on program? That's all I wanted to know because I was a little hypoglycemic and so my blood sugar was going up and down. And you know what? I didn't even care how much it cost. I didn't even care what it tasted like. It could have been triple the price and it could have tasted like dog food and I wouldn't have cared. I was so ready. Obesity was plaguing our family. My mom was 62, right at that exact era of time, was passing away of obesity. And I knew it was my future if I didn't get this under control. So I was so excited to have found Take Shape for Life. And David dove in. He loved what we had. He knew that we could really share this with a lot of people. Little side note, our family has helped, just in our family alone, we've lost 2,500 pounds. Just take that in. That's changed the legacy of our families. And then just dove into coaching. And Dr. A was speaking a lot about convention right there on the leadership call. And I was busy in another career, and Dr. A or David decided to go to convention, and I just tagged along. I just quite frankly wanted to get out of Dodge. I was at that 2.6 kids, the white picket fence, 2 careers. I was maxed. So decided to tag along, and when I got in front of Dr. A and I got figured David put me in a class right in front of him, I came out of the class and said, we're in. And you know what, Mark? We were in, and we've been full-time Take Shape for Life since and changing a lot of lives. What's your story? How did you and Margaret decide to go all in?
Well, you know, and thanks, Terry. Look, we're so thrilled to be on this Zoom with people, especially new people. A big part of me wishes I could start over right now, because this opportunity gets more and more amazing all the time, and I sincerely mean that. But the great thing is, you know, 9 years ago, I was climbing the walls of the sick care system as a cardiologist, doing everything I could to help my patients who were struggling with diseases. And I realized that I could treat all the signs and symptoms forever, but that they weren't getting healthier in truth. And when I really saw that clearly and met Dr. Anderson and other amazing people and learned about Take Shape for Life, I started to share it with my patients. Did the program myself, lost 10 pounds. Margaret lost some weight, my wonderful wife who coaches with me. And, you know, people were getting healthy. They were getting off medications often, sometimes getting rid of diseases as a result of safe, rapid weight loss, and most of all, learning about health and creating a healthy mindset for themselves. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is why I went into medicine. The problem is I was in a system that really wasn't about health. It's disease centric. So, you know, as a result, we've been able to impact the lives of so many people in such a powerful way, helping people get healthy and really have lives that can go on as they improve their health. And that's an incredible gift.
Well, it is. And how rewarding for you to, you know, be in the area where you were patching people up. And a good part of what you were doing was by health neglect. Not all, but a good part of it. You know, and for all of you, so when David and I first met Dr. Nelson, we were sitting at a table, and see that smile that you saw on his face, that twinkle in his eye and that glimmer? That wasn't there. And that was when we knew him as Dr. Nelson, and now we know him as our good friend Mark.
Yeah, and Terry, let me just say, it's like, you know, I got my health back, I got my life back, I got my family back in the sense that I could now organize my life around what mattered most to me, mostly by helping other people get healthy. What a concept. We get paid to help people get healthy. Wow. I mean,
yeah, absolutely. And what we also do is we help other coaches learn how to do the same. And that is, so we have a 2-part structure to our business model. And that's what we're going to talk about tonight, is how do we help those new coaches get off to a great running start. So I wanted to bring on a really good friend of ours also, that you know, we all started at the same place. We all became coaches together, purchased a coach kit. And I wanted to bring on Dr. Joe. And you know what? He's become a very good friend of David and I. And his name is still Dr. Joe. That's who it is. So Dr. Joe, could you come on in and share your story, a little bit about your journey? And you know what, one thing that I would love you to, if you wouldn't mind being a little transparent and sharing with the crowd, if you could go back and speak to your former self, what would one thing that you would love to, you know, kind of say to yourself? And, you know, what could you change? So Dr. Joe, please come on.
Can I first comment too on you and Mark? The things that really struck me was, I've met your 2 sons, but I haven't met the 0.6, because you said you were right there at 2.6, and I figured Mark there must have been playing the country music backwards, because he got his health back, and he got his wife back, and he got his life back, and that usually goes the other way. But yeah, I would say if there was one thing, well, first, let me start a little bit with my health journey, because at 5'6", even though I felt like I carried 300 pounds well, I really didn't. I mean, it was nice for me to kid around and say that, yes, I was always in great shape because round is a shape and things like that. But the truth was my health was probably slowly deteriorating. And when my coach, Ron Gels, first came to me, I told him, I said, you know what, Ron, I know how to lose weight. I've been doing it all my life. And health really was not that paramount to me because I was experienced at losing weight. I just wasn't experienced at doing it right and at keeping it off and creating health. So it really took 8 months of persistent and consistent effort by Ron. And I thank him for being consistent like that because I know a lot of people would have given up. He was, and I would say persistent, but definitely not pesty. And I think that's a key point for a lot of people is it's okay to be persistent because the timing isn't always right for people. But after those 8 months of Ron coming around every month, finally I was ready. And when I was ready, I was really ready because in 8 months to the day, although results are not typical, I did lose in excess of 100 pounds. And that's more than 10 years ago now. So that was, for me, dramatic because that exceeded or equaled the results that anyone could get with bariatric surgery without any risk whatsoever. And then really, if I were to now talk to my old self, I would say being at the top of my game as a surgeon and feeling like I didn't need help from anyone. In my profession, I didn't. But in this business, once you make that paradigm shift to the fact that this really is team coaching and that it's not about how competent you are, it's how wonderfully together the team can work and how everyone's competence builds on each other's. That, I think, to me is probably my biggest takeaway now compared to what I knew back then.
Absolutely. You know, we are attracting so many professional people who are beyond successful at what they're currently doing, but they're not fulfilled in what they're doing. And Take Shape for Life has that. And Dr. Joe, I love that you shared that transparently because you know, you're a public speaker. You very successful in your career, but maybe a little bit of you know, know-it-allness and all that. You're like, okay, I wish I would have gone in and dove into my three-way calls a little bit quicker, but clearly it didn't stop him. He's a global director, which means he's just assisting a lot of people. So Dr. Joe, thank you so much for coming on and looking forward to seeing you at convention in a couple weeks.
Oh, us too. Thank you.
Excellent. Well, so excited to bring on our next a person that's going to share a little bit about her story and what would she like to say to her former self. And Sue, I'm excited to have you come on, and I get to meet you in person for the first time, and you're bringing a gaggle of new coaches with you to do it.
I'm so excited. Thanks for inviting me to share today too. It's been such a journey. My husband, Eric, is a family physician, and he and I signed up as clients and coaches at the same time. And he lost 45 pounds, and really he had been struggling to try to help his patients. He doesn't want to write prescriptions. He's the kind of doctor that really wanted to help his patients, but we didn't have a vehicle for that. So he was really interested in that. And then for myself, I've always been into health and fitness. I'm a runner, but I have had a lot of struggles with some of my family members. My 3 older siblings all had major health issues. And I've seen firsthand how when you have a health issue and your quality of life goes down, you know, it just really is very, very difficult. And what I saw was I could help others prevent that from happening, or maybe even change their course. And it was so, just for me, that's been so incredibly motivating and powerful. And so we went on the program, and we you know, felt great. And we were decided to just jump right into the coaching. And we were really surprised. We were able to get a lot of clients very quickly, actually. It seemed like everyone around us, we're in San Antonio. Obesity is everywhere, but there's certainly a lot of folks down here that need it. And everybody needs it. And when we were able to offer it to people, we felt like they were very open to it. We weren't trying to sell anything. We were just sharing this with them. And honestly, some people felt like the fact that we shared it to them was kind of a sign that they should actually finally take control of their health. And so then they did, just because we happened to be there, and we reached out to them. So so we've enjoyed it, but I would go back and change some things for sure. That might help some of you folks out there who are starting. One is embracing the simple system that exists. I embrace parts of it, maybe not other parts of it, not fully. And what happened was we had a lot of clients come on board and I wasn't as organized as I could have been. I didn't tap into the team coaching. I didn't do the three-way calls. And, when I started to do that, it changed everything for us. We started doing three-way calls. Mark has helped me tremendously, and I thank him for that, to share, really tapping into mentorship. It's really the way to go. It's the way that you will learn. You can't always learn it just on your own. And when I finally sat back and realized that and embraced it, it was so helpful to our clients. And it became, most of all, we're having so much fun now. And we enjoyed it. It was fulfilling. But we were always sort of worried, what do we do next? Should we reinvent the wheel? And now we really are, it's so fun. And that when we get on these calls, it's enjoyable and the clients are pumped up and we're helping people and, it doesn't feel like a job. So I really encourage everyone to tap into the system. It makes it very easy. And now that we're coaching coaches, it's so easy for us to translate that on to somebody else. And the only way I can, we want to help get everybody healthy across San Antonio and beyond. And now we can feel like we can do that because we have the system and the tools that back us all up and the people. So anyway, we're just really pumped up. Thank you for letting me share.
Wow, Sue, thank you. That was amazing. And let me just say that, you and Eric, the transformation in the two of you has been so amazing. And I think, I think one of the really important things, and Joe spoke to this, is as professional people, we often need to know everything before we do anything. Well, that is not the case with Take Shape for Life. You don't need to know everything. All you need to do is to say to your sponsor, your team, hey, what's my next step? And that's what makes this so easy and so amazing.
Well, and that's exactly right, Mark. It's interesting because all of you are on this call because you have chose to pay it forward. You decided, what, I love this. I love how I feel. Or maybe you haven't even been on program yet. Some people now are starting program and coaching at the same time. But some of you might be thinking, I got to wait for my kit. Mark, should we spill the beans? Should we let them know that their first 5 clients are not in that box? Oops.
Yeah, there isn't even one client in the box. And the good news is there is useful material in this kit, but please don't wait for the kit.
Yeah.
There are people who need you and your help who don't want you to wait for the kit. They want you to start showing them what's possible right now.
Absolutely. What's in that kit is a lot of the team coaching information that was already talked about, how to support those clients, but we for sure do not want you to wait. And, I like to actually kind of throw out a double dog dare. How many of you are double dog dare people? It is, I like to kind of, let you know what's possible. There's people all around you that are crying themselves to sleep at night because they're looking for something. You heard all of our stories. I was just waiting for the right thing. And the Double Dog Dare is for you to get this party started and get it going and really partner up with some people that you love and create your first 5 clients before your kit even arrives to you. It's not necessary. Mark, it's so funny. David and I, we didn't even fill out our paperwork right. We didn't even, quite frankly, even realize we got paid for this. So we didn't really quite understand what I'm going to have you go over as people are creating and partnering up with those first 5 people that they're going to change their lives. So why don't you share a little bit of what's possible as they're assisting those first 5 people, whether they do it in a day, a week, or in their first 30 days.
Well, thanks, Terry. It really is amazing because, we have an incredible opportunity within the first 30 days of becoming a health coach to help 5 clients or more if you wish. But if you help just 5 clients, you're going to generate over $400 your first month. And the way that happens is we obviously get paid to guide people to health and get paid pretty well. And if we help 5 people in the first month, 5 clients, we get a $100 client acquisition bonus called a CAM bonus. And I think what's really important about this is a lot of people don't realize that we're paid pretty well as we coach people. In fact, the more people we coach, the more we get paid. What a concept to actually motivate and incentivize people to help other people create health in their life. It's amazing, and what an opportunity.
It is. And you know, Dr. Nelson, it is. It's just such a so rewarding. I've never done anything. And you know, David and I were walking on the beach last night. We live over in Maui now. And just, you know, that's just one of the choices. And I'm not saying that in a braggadocious way. We came over to visit 2 years ago because we lived in Oregon where it rains 300 days out of the year. And we came over to get out away from the gray skies. And with about 3 days, I was like, I'm not leaving. And you know what? We went, you know, if we could live anywhere, oh, wait, we can. If we could live anywhere, let's live here. So they got a little grandbaby that calls us back to Oregon quite a bit. But it is all about sharing and caring. And I want to bring on Dan Valentine. Dan is one of the top leaders in Take Shape for Life. And him and his wife were in ministry. And they came in, and this was just a fit for them. Dan, are you with us?
I am.
So Dan, you're going to share a little bit about how vital it is to just really listen and have patience and care for people.
Yeah, honored to be here, Terry. Everybody take a deep breath and then let it out, okay? I think one of the most, freeing parts of this program that I discovered a little bit after joining as a health coach was I was very fearful and skeptical a little bit about the fact that I never really wanted to try to sell stuff to people. And I felt like I might be pushing people. And I talked to a lot of coaches that have that same fear. And what I love about the way that we operate, like I saw at the very first convention that I went to, even just as a client, and I heard the heart of the leaders, I heard Dr. A's heart, and I realized we're not trying to sell anything to anybody. What we're doing is we're looking for people that are looking for a solution. And Terry, I love what you said about people, you know, laying in their bed at night, crying themselves to sleep. And you know what? That's true. And even if it's not on the outside, on the inside, we live in a world, in a country where people are just absolutely miserable where they're at. And how do I know that? Because that was me. And everybody else to the outside, I would have looked like I had it all together. I was really confident. But, you know, honestly, I didn't like the version of myself that I was living. And there are a ton of people around you that are feeling that same way, and they're crying out on the inside for a solution that works. And I love that what we do works, and we don't have to, you know, people can tell if you're trying to sell them something or if you're trying to help them, and that's all you have to do. So relax. All you're doing is looking for people that you can help. You don't have to try to sell anything. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take just a couple minutes, and I love to word this like this. You know, we're going to think of some people that you know, but think about it this way. Who's on your heart right now? So grab a piece of paper or grab your iPhone or something, and everybody right now, we're going to take about 30 seconds, write down 5 people that are on your heart right now that you think would benefit from what we have to offer. Go ahead and write those names down. Think of them. Who's on your heart right now? Don't disqualify anyone because you think, oh, they wouldn't be interested, or oh, they're not into this kind of thing. Let it go. Open it up. Just put the names down right now. 30 seconds.
I feel like we should do the time thing. Well, you guys can tell we do not have any fun here.
None.
Yeah.
0. So, okay. So you have 5 people written down. Now, how many of you think you could have just kept going? Because there were so many people that you know could benefit from what we have. And I just absolutely love that that's what we get to do. And the thing is, we're not just trying to tell people. All right, you're going to get a lot of questions, okay? People are going to be asking you, what is it? How does it work? How much does it cost? All these questions. But I want you to remember this. The most important question is this question right here. Why? And what we do before we tell people the what or the how, we want to find out their why. What is it that's that they long for deep in their heart. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to do what's called three-way communications. And I'm telling you, this will save you about 2 months of trial and error if you do this. Probably one of the most important things you can do as a new coach is do a three-way call or three-way Zoom with somebody from your mentorship team, okay? What that means is basically you're going to invite your potential client onto a call, and you're going to introduce your health coach to them. And what happens is basically your coach is going to model for you how to share the program, and not even so much how to answer these questions, although they get answered by the end, but how to ask the right questions on those calls. Okay, so why? Here a few questions that you might ask, and you might say, well, why do we do these three-way calls? Well, the reason is that's the best way for your coach to model how to share the program and how to get to the why. To me, this was a brand new concept. I was really good at telling. I was really good at communicating to people, but I wasn't that great at asking questions. And so when you do this with your health coach and with your mentorship team, then you are going to learn how to ask those questions, how to do what we call helping a client take aim. And what that stands for is awaken intrinsic motivation. The reason why is if you can help awaken what's already on the inside of that client, then when you get to the cost, it's not going to matter. When you get to the food, it's not going to matter. They're going to have such a strong desire to do the program that they're going to jump on board. So the reason we do these is how you're going to learn. You're going to give your friend the best chance possible to be able to hear about the program from a seasoned coach. And it can be a call, it can be a Zoom, and we recommend you do anywhere from 5 to 7 of these with someone from your mentorship team to help develop that skill. And when can you do them? It can be done anytime. This is what team coaching comes in. And who's it for? You're going to invite your potential client, and your coach is going to lead that call. That's very important. You'll introduce your coach, and then you'll introduce your potential client, and there's an outline that you can follow. You may go through the well-being tracker, and then after the call, it's real important that you debrief with your coach, and that'll allow you to share what you learned, what you picked up, and the way these calls are going to look like. And you can follow the outline, look in your team page for that, or ask your business coach. It's really going to be about asking questions about what their health goals are. That's probably the most important question that you can ask. It's going to be a conversation where you can explore ways that you and your health coach can help them. And then you're going to be able to share the value of your health coach's experience after helping many, many people. Enthusiasm comes across in those three-way calls. When you invite a client to a three-way call, what that looks like is this. Is you might say, hey, I'm a new health coach and I'm just learning the basics. I'd love for you to talk with me and my health coach together and see if our program's a fit for you. What I love doing is I love making it a celebration. Instead of even asking, going, hey, is it okay if I, have somebody come on? You know how that can be awkward and people wondering what's up, especially if it's awkward to you. Be comfortable with it. Just breathe, just flow with it. And a lot of times what I'll do is I'll go, hey, great news. My health coach is going to jump on with us. He is so awesome. He's amazing. And Eric Hunsberger likes when I do that because he's my health coach. But I just really say, hey, we get this expert on here. And man, he's way better at sharing the program than I am. He can answer all your questions. This is really, really cool. And so posture it in a very positive way and do it. That's so important that you do these three-way calls, okay? Don't skip this step. Hands down, okay? Hands down, the coaches that are doing three-way calls are multiple times more successful and faster than the coaches that are not doing these three-way calls. So a common scenario when somebody asks, well, how much does the program cost? They might get a hold of you over Facebook or social media or send you a text. Here's a great response to that. Well, it really depends on what your health goals are. Is there some time we could talk with my health coach? We'd love to hear what's important to you. Then they can explain the program, answer your questions. We can see if it's something they might be interested in. We are tempted to give them the answer to their question, but remember, we want to find out some answers to our questions first. Or you might say, I'd love for you to feel better. Let's hop on a call with my coach and see if this program's a good fit for you. There's many, many different responses that you can give to questions, but just remember this. Before you give away the how, you want to get to their why, okay? Everybody got that? Everybody say, before you give away the how, You want to get to their why.
Well, and Dan, that is so important because we as new coaches, I think every time I hear someone say, "What would I if I could go back and speak to my previous self?" You know, the one thing that people ask how questions. That's just what they do. Mark, you had a little bit of thought on that earlier, and I think this is really adds value to this.
Thank you, Terry. Dan, I love what you shared. It's so powerful. I mean, and think about it, right? We all live in a chaotic world, and we're caught up with problem solving. And, we're caught up with a lot of questions, which is okay. But you're, as a health coach, you can guide people in such an incredible, generative, easy way, which is, if you could create another life for yourself, would you want to? It rises above the problem solving and being in the weeds of the chaos we live in. It rises above reacting to all the stuff that's eroding our health, our bodies, our minds, our finances. When you say to someone, what would it look like for you to be healthy? To have peace of mind, to have the freedom of health, to stop stop spending your life dollars for paper dollars, for you to be able to create a life that you want for yourself. So what you're doing is you're guiding people to the most important questions, which this chaotic society doesn't actually encourage people to ask or have that conversation with themselves. So what do you do as a new coaches? You do this incredible thing. You have this incredible gift, which is to create time and space for someone to share with you, to share their heart with you. And then that's when the walls come down and you simply share and show them what is truly possible.
Mark, I love that. So thank you so much. And it's really interesting as we are all working with our new coaches. So a couple big takeaways that I would love for that segment of this is, many of the testimonies said it, is lean in, do your three-way calls. You're probably, we find that probably after 4 or 5, you get the pattern and the rhythm because it's the same questions that people ask. You understand how to assist dig a little bit deeper. If someone says, I want to lose, 30 pounds, that's just pounds. That's not why they want to. And you know what? We as health coaches, we coach people structurally. And if we don't really know their why, we don't know what's going to keep them away from being tempted, talk them off the ledge of the brownie or whatever. I'm joking a little bit. But you know what? We as health coaches are an advocate for our clients. And sometimes we need to be an advocate for them, sometimes against them. But if we dig in deep and we find out that one part, then, and we ask permission to coach them and they have that trust with us, Dan, haven't you found that that's just unbelievable? Sometimes that's the behavioral changes, is when you have a partner you can trust.
Yeah, and there's a breakthrough, and you can see it and you can feel it. It's like you can actually see your client's life being changed, and that doesn't come from telling. It comes from hearing their heart, from listening, from, instead of trying to be interesting, being interested in your client. And so here's let's jump on. Part of the call is going to be some questions that your health coach might like. Here's a few. Hey, what are you looking to accomplish? Why do you want to get healthy? When was the last time you were there? I love that question. So you want to lose 50 pounds? When's the last time that you weighed 50 pounds less? And a great follow-up question to that, when after they answer, always give them time to answer. Even if there's a little bit of awkward pause, don't be afraid of the awkward silence. We always try to fill that up, don't we? Don't worry about that. Let it set. And I love a follow-up question to when's the last time you were there. They might say, oh, in my 20s. Do you remember what that felt like? That's a powerful, powerful question. And you might say, hey, if you were to lose that weight or get that area of your life healthy, how's your journey going to affect not just you, but the lives around you? How's that going to affect your kids? And then pause. How's that going to affect your wife? Pause. You can almost feel the power in it even right now. These questions are powerful, and if you just keep digging and just keep asking questions and let them pull up those dreams for many of our potential clients that are buried deep down, let them pull those up and get them on the surface. And if you can really get to that point, they're going to be ready. They're going to be salivating to do this program. And listen, this is not about trying to use a selling technique or close the deal. When somebody jumps on our program, and I want to do everything I can to help them get there, I want to remove all the obstacles. When someone jumps on our program, their life gets changed. Okay, so let's be real here. You get a little bit of compensation, right? You get, a few bucks depending on what rank you're at, $45 to $100 for a brand new client per month. But who wins the most? Who wins the most? The client always wins the most. Their life has changed. My little girl's got a new dad. My wife got a new husband. My friend's got a better friend. And you know what? I don't think Eric Hunsberger's my health coach, and whoever's, getting compensated on my program, it should be 1,000,000 times that. That's what it's worth to me. That's why we dig in, and that's why we ask these questions.
Mark?
Wow, Dan. I mean, that you're amazing, and that's amazing. And I mean, I keep being so moved by how heartfelt and how genuine you are and the coaches we work with. One of the things that I really struck me, I think one of the most powerful questions you could ask someone is, tell me what your typical day is like. I mean, think about it. How many people ever ask you or anyone else, who cares in this chaotic world, right? Most people, they say, hi, how are you? I'm fine. And they pass each other like ships in the night. And it's simply not real and it's not the truth. It's getting by. But when you ask someone, what is your typical day like? And you sit back and just listen. Oh my gosh, what you can learn about someone, which is amazing. Terry, it
is, it's amazing. And your health coach will be asking these questions, and you're going to learn a lot. There's an outline that you're going to follow. They'll have you, like the first call, you won't do much of the talking. Then the second call, you'll do a little bit more. And, usually by 4 or 5, you're ready to go. And you'll take copious notes on these people. And, it's really interesting. I would be curious, with all the hundreds of people that are on the line here tonight, how many people said yes the very first time Take Shape for Life was offered to them, to this amazing gift? I have to say I said yes, but to be honest with you, I think I might have just said yes the first time I heard it. So, and there's a clue in there for you all. Do not take it personally. This is when they're ready to say yes. So I wanted to share with you just briefly, real quick, something that's really important, and I'm going to bring Dan back on, that when someone is ready to say yes, when they've said yes and they're good to go, it's really important. We start all of our clients the same way. And Dan, if you could just share for just a couple minutes, we want to make sure we stay on time, why we all start our clients with the Optimal Pack.
Yeah, my mentorship team told me this once, and I decided early on to follow the system and follow it exactly, even if I didn't quite understand it. And I'll tell you, that's made all the difference. So trust the system, trust your team. And they said this to me once when I asked why about something. They said, here's the deal. You're the health coach. You know what's best for them. And we as health coaches have been doing this for years, and we have the system because we've learned what's best for our clients. So that's why we start every client with the Optimal Pack, okay? And what that means is it comes with Dr. A's books. I won't coach somebody unless they have the books in there. Getting a healthy mind is a vital part of the program. I don't even offer it any other way. So when they say, yeah, I'm ready to do this, what we do is we help facilitate that client's first order. And we do the Optimal Pack, I tell clients, for a few reasons. Listen, one thing, I want you to have plenty of variety your first month, okay? And what we don't want is and I don't tell clients this, but we don't want clients to be focused so much on the food. I mean, you might say, oh, the brownies are so good. I mean, oh man, I can't wait till you get these. And they're salivating and they can't wait. And they're thinking of that brownie they got from, that grandma made. And then the brownies we we have come, and I may love them, and they may not like them. I mean, they taste great, but, you know, one of my favorite things is the oatmeal. And Terry, I know that may not be one of your favorite things, right? And
No, it is not.
so if we go from, you know, we just don't know where they're at or what they're going to fall in love with. So we want to give them plenty of variety their first month, and we don't want them spending a lot of time on the food. All this is fuel. It's not even food. This is fuel to help them get that healthy body and then fuel their healthy body. And when we postured that way, hey, your kid's going to be on its way. That's what we do. You're going to eat 6 times a day, 5 fuelings you get from the program, 1 lean and green meal. We start all new clients with the Optimal Favorites kit, and that's just going to give you plenty of variety your first month. You're going to love it. It's going to be awesome. And then we go to the website to place their first order. Okay, we don't send people to our website. We facilitate their first order, and we don't send people to the website until they go in to update their second order. And then we say, hey, if your second order, you get to go in and choose from the entire menu and completely customize your order after you've had a chance to try a bunch of different things. So when someone contacts you on Facebook, don't send them a link to the website. Or you can, but I recommend you don't, because if you can have a conversation with them, it's going to be 10 times more powerful.
Absolutely. You know, Dan, you just explained it so well. And there are a few exceptions, if depending upon when you're doing your full share with them. And if there are a few exceptions, so we never train to the exception, we train to the rule. So I don't want to say never ever, but I would say 49 out of 50 clients that get started with the optimal kit. And and something also that's really great is there is a video after you've done your 3-way calls and you do your debrief with your coach, and if that client says, I'm good to go, I'm ready, here we go, you're going to get this little video link that's going to show you how to place your first client's first order. Everything, we like to call it as just-in-time training. We're going to give you what you need just in time. You're going to get a new client email that has everything you need, a new coach email that has everything you need to develop your first 5 clients. And your coach is going to hand feed you what you need just in time. You're probably going, why does she say just in time 3 times? Because I want to tell you it's the difference between just in case. We're not going to train you on the just in case. We're going to train you on the just in time. So with that said, we're just going to take the next few minutes, and one of the most powerful thing that you can really learn how to really secure is your story and how to be authentic with that. And I've asked a global director, again, that just means she's helping a lot of people, certified health coach Shirley Mass, to come on and assist. Shirley, are you with us?
Hey, thanks so much, Terry. I am here. I'm really looking forward to sharing about this. I think this whole concept of being able to share your story well is something that really excites me, because stories are so powerful. And you've already figured out that we pretty much have a good time doing what we do. And so when I can get really effective in being able to reach out to people, it really helps me to help more people. It's the reason that we've been able to build our business so well. And I think, when somebody shares your story with you and they're transparent with you, you build this connection. And actually, speaking of sharing stories, I'll tell you a little bit about how I came to Take Shape for Life. It was over 6 years ago when my physician introduced me to the program. At that point, I weighed almost 400 pounds. My health was at a pretty desperate place. And I figured out very quickly, once I got started with the program, that, wow, you know what, this was not only going to help me lose the weight, but it was going to teach me how to keep it off, because it was teaching me all the healthy habits. It was giving me all this great support, and I love that. So as a result of the program, I've lost 215 pounds because I've learned all those healthy habits, and because I still have ongoing support, I'm not afraid the weight's ever coming back. Now, I do have a little bit of a disclaimer here to throw in. There'll be some of you who are brand new to coaching. You're all excited about hearing people, helping people, and you're thinking, oh, I don't even have a weight loss story. Or you might think, I had somebody once who said, well, I couldn't build a business the size of yours because I didn't lose 215 pounds. I have a secret for you. The reason we've been able to help a lot of people is not because I lost 215 pounds. It's just because I share with people what I'm excited about. I do it all the time with everything. I've always been that way. And this has just given me something really, really exciting to share with people. So it doesn't matter if you don't have a weight loss story. You already know what this program is doing for you. Maybe it's about better energy. Maybe you realize, wow, you've never really eaten healthy before, and now you're learning how to eat healthy and how to get a better night's sleep, and all of these things that you're excited about. So the only difference between me and you, as far as growing a business size, is I've just talked to more people than you have. So, and you can do the same thing that I did. So I will tell you this. You've got a unique story that is very, very special to you and will be very special to the people you are listening that are listening to you. So think about what you're most excited about and be ready to share that with people as they ask questions or as it comes up in conversations. I can strike up conversations with people anyway. I've always been this way. I'm in the grocery store. I'm going to talk with people about whatever it is, as we're waiting in the grocery store line. So it might be as simple as I'm in the grocery store line and my cart's all full of veggies and healthy stuff, and the person behind me's got Twinkies and potato chips and all this stuff, and they're eyeing up my cart and saying, wow, you really eat healthy. Now, I got a choice there. I could share a little bit about my story, or I could say, yep, I do. Well, that's an opportunity. So I can say to them, yeah, since I got healthier, man, we eat a lot. I mean, since I've lost weight, we really eat a lot healthier. Well, that starts a conversation. Really, you've lost weight? Yeah, I'm really excited about it. I'm a health coach now. Is it something you'd be interested in knowing more about? I'd be happy to share more with you. It's that simple. I didn't even mention my 215 pounds. I didn't explain to them how the program works. I just shared with them what I'm excited about. And you can do that too. I loved what Sue said earlier. She said something about that when she talked to some people that they saw it as maybe kind of being a sign that they should get healthy. And I think that as you share this with people, I've had people that have said the same thing to me where they've said, I didn't have the nerve to call you about this, but I figured that if you ever gave me a call, I was going to say yes. Wow. How many friends do you think you have that are like that? And all you need to do is reach out to them. Now, I'll tell you one thing that'll make your story even more powerful is, we've been having conversations about figuring out why it's important to people to get healthy. And if you know why it's important to someone to get healthy, you can share your story based on that. So for instance, if I'm talking to somebody who's maybe my age, maybe in their 50s, they just had their first grandchild. They're all excited about that. But they got maybe 20, 30 pounds to lose. They're just really feeling like they don't have a lot of energy. I'm not going to mention my 215 pounds. I'm going to talk about the fact that I can get in the floor to play with my granddaughter. I can have energy to take care of her all day. I just shared my story based on what was important to them, which makes it even stronger. And then at the end of sharing your story, don't forget to give them an opportunity to respond. Hey, who do you know that might be interested in better health? Or is this something you might like to explore more? It's that simple. It's that simple. So I'll tell you, over time, my story has changed. Just because there's different things I'm excited about. When the grandbaby came along, you bet I was telling people about getting on the floor to play with them. When my husband quit his job, because our business had grown to the level to be able to sustain having him quit his job, you can bet I was telling people about that too. There's a lot of people who want what we have, either the physical transformation, the mental transformation, the financial freedom. And so just, they want to hear from you. Relationships are really important to people. So go build the relationships, go have fun with it, practice your story with your coach if you're feeling a little insecure. It's a lot of fun. So get good at it and go share with people what you've got.
Oh, Shirley, that is so outstanding. You just did, that was so stellar. So it's practice. I always, just the rule of thumb is God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth. So we want to make sure that we listen well, ask a follow-up question, and get good at our story. And get the thing that I thought was stellar. And Mark, you might want to comment on this just as we're closing up, is that you really listen to them. If they have 20 or 30 pounds to lose, they're really not going to relate to your story. And the one thing we do know is people really care more about them than us anyway.
Yeah, thank you. No, Shirley, that you are always amazing, and that is so powerful and so profound, because it's people want to be heard. They want to be seen. They want to know that you you care about them, you see them, you hear them, you feel their issues, their challenges. That's everything. That's the beginning of trust and any relationship that goes anywhere. And that's also sets us so apart from a chaotic world where there is all this selling and telling. We don't do that.
And I really like her last question. Do you know anybody who might want to move forward in their health? Or some version of that question. That is so great. So as in closing, you know, Dan, I know I'm not a minister and I've gone to the closing 3 times here, like that's your line. But so basically, the action steps for you as a brand new coach, if you haven't already started, invite the 5 people that you identified to a 3-way call conversation with your coach. Utilize your new coach letter that has all the links and some little training videos and things like that that helps you feel more comfortable with that. Do that within the next 24 hours. Complete 2 or 3 3-way conversations by Wednesday. There are people out there who are waiting, and I have no doubt there are people, if you actually open up your ears and listen, there are people who are talking about health everywhere you go. And then we do want to share with your family and friends right away, but let me tell you, those 3-way conversations is your learning. And so be sure and debrief with your coach. It's really important. And then don't miss the next steps, you know, as you're moving forward. And then a bonus, again, this is part of that double dog dare, is start 5 clients by the next Monday night. Okay? So one other little thing, just a couple little things I wanted to share with you is always be ready, be prepared, be organized to be able to hear about what someone's looking for anywhere you go. And something else that we want to share with you, after 3 to 5 calls, you're going to get real comfortable, and many of you really utilize social media. We're going to just kind of caution you, don't start on social media right away. When it's time to start on social media, your coach will show you what we have learned are the best practices. Social media is just a place to be social, and people will see. So it's really nice to be able to have that aspect of this. And last but not least, you heard a lot about National Convention, and you also heard about how vital that was to in the growth of your career. So National Convention is in Mark, do you have the dates for National Convention?
It's in Austin, Texas, July 21 to 24.
Excellent.
Yeah, let me just say to all of you who are, you know, new coaches, you're just getting started, you know, please don't think National Convention is just for coaches with big businesses or have been doing this a long time. It's really for you. Most of all, it's for you as a new coach, because it'll give you the foundation to help as many people as you want, and you'll have a great time, meet amazing people, have fun, and learn how truly simple the simple system is and how powerful this vision and mission are. So please register right away. This is an amazing experience.
Absolutely. And to Mark's point, one of the things that Take Shape for Life has done is they know how vital going to National Convention is for new coaches. So they've given you a rookie pricing. So if you're within 30 days of purchasing your business kit, when you open up your Office in Motion, there's going to be a little window that pops up, and it's going to share. You probably already noticed that. And there's a little link there that will help you get rookie pricing. It is $199 for registration for convention for 1, a single, and $350 for 2. And for everybody else who's outside their 30 days, it's $350 for 1. So you can see what a great, how vital it is for you to go. I have to say that would be the best gift you could give yourself in this season. You know, the next event is always the best event. So we're going to close up with this. I want to thank you for spending the hour with us. What a treat for those of you who got to hear Dr. Anderson. And I really want to thank all the speakers. And you know what? Just a little reminder, there are a lot of people out there who need us. And our job is to extend our hand and share with them to see if what they're looking for is a match to what we coach to. And then also be patient and follow up and continue to love on them for when they're ready. Some I've always figured out that people are, everybody says yes. It just may not be right all the time. It's always after I do a full share, if they're not throwing their V's at me, which let me say that doesn't happen very often, they always want to think about it or pray about it or check with their spouse or whatever. That's okay with me, because my job is to help them when they're ready. And it's what a joy to be able to assist people as they're when they're ready to move forward. So Mark, in closing, anything?
I mean, Terry, I completely agree. And just to say, one of the keys is to be patiently persistent and persistently patient. And to meet people where they are, as Terry said, because if you do that, all things will come to you. You will attract, people who really want a full and vibrant life.
Excellent, great. So be sure and schedule some three-way calls with your coach right away. So great. Okay, have a nice evening. Goodbye, everybody.